The movie begins with a man who had killed a woman and was planning to kill another. A man was breaking it there to conceal her. There, he interred her and picked leaves from in the wee hours. However, that lady's voices then start to appear from the cave, frightening the populace, and then, whoever enters the cave disappears, revealing that they did. The scenario now switches to a woman named a town where Anna is moving to her relatives. She arrived here because to her age, witches has lost a son. And the outcome was that she became despondent. Occurrence outside the building where they lived, outside the home where they upon relocation, a dense forest was present. Was forbidden entry, no one was permitted entry to the area. Because a fence surrounded it. Let me now explain that this location not anyone else besides the cave region, and living with Anna is also her mother-in-law. Them in the city, her spouse was the head of her family. Mom and daughter-in-law. The condition Anna's mother-in-law has is, despite being healthy, she has a mental illness maintained by Anna's mother-in-law is capable of hearing the voices of the deceased, thus she frequently thinks about them. Speaks strangely. Then, a boy and two children are shown. And a young woman whose cute pet had vanished, unable to locate their puppy. They separated posters, and as you look for them they came across that cave as puppies. The cave was pitch black, so she activated the torch on her cell phone, examined inside. In the corner, she noticed movement, and someone dragged the child inside with it. When Anna hears the noise, she dials the noise. Additionally, when the police enter the cave, there, a girl's lifeless body is discovered. Together with a picture. She was in the wilderness with Anna as well, where she finds a baby daughter with her spouse. Her fear was dirty. She went by Julia. She is brought home by Anna, who gives her a she takes a bath but realizes she has a lot with wounds on her back. Julia was adorable. Anna thus tried to speak with her, but she is not responding. Then she refers to Anna as her right away mother. First words are spoken by the infant girl. And what's shocking is that her voice is identical to Anna's daughter. The husband of Anna advises that we alert, advising the authorities of the missing infant. Anna declines, however, as she has already her son was lost. How the police had acted at the moment. Instead of my son, I discovered Julia, and as days since the attachment or bond, the bond between Anna and Julia grew. Anna adores Julia. Once, Anna's husband inquired as to how long will we continue to care for this infant girl. Home we must send her, but Anna refuses. If you want her to leave, won't let her go. I'll go with her when she leaves the house. When her spouse tells her, she starts to cry. She must deal with that her child has left this planet and that there is no longer one can take his position. I'll support you if you keep your cool. On the other hand, Anna disagreed, and she was adamant that she would go back. My son. One day as Anna sat in, her mother-in-law had a mental episode attack and dashes towards Julia's direction with a Julia is saved when knife. Anna shows up. The laws in Anna's mother-in-room laws was a completely shattered mirror. Covered as a result of Anna's mother-in-law hearing her, it makes a dead sibling sound in the mirror. In that mirror, a terrifying image appears, as though it belonged to a soul or a demon, and the mother-in-law of Anna starts speaking by herself, and she hurriedly makes her way towards the woods. Once she arrives at the region of a cave was prohibited from entering, it seems she is being pulled there by someone. The following morning when Anna awakens, she identifies her mother-in-law as absent from sight. When her husband asks her for a secret, she inspects his mother's room mirror. He observes that it is dripping fluid. The cassettes are taken out of Anna by her husband. The handprints of the speaker in the mirror. Someone in it holds that something is true. Is incorrect since this infant girl was born. Visits our house. He comes up to Julia and asks, "Do you the location of grandmother?" After that, we learn that Anna's also gone missing is the hubby, which leads Anna to become confused and call she does not, according to the police, want residing here. She tells the woman that the town is strange, telling police that she has also found a girl from that wooded area called Julia. The police search through their files for a report is lacking for this specific, however they are unable to uncover anything. However, Anna was driving Julia. Despite Julia's request to speak with the police, gone, disappeared, and had not been seen. The cops tell Anna there are numerous people have disappeared in the recent days, and how little this town is mysterious. They also display those images to Anna. Anna identified the youngster they alongside the deceased person as Julia when the police examined their old record stories, claiming to have found numerous persons. I came across this baby girl in the woods when Anna was trying to find Julia. She encounters a woman who informs her of the cave where a white tiger once lived, how the local magicians operate their gorgeous white tiger was revered. Whenever a magician honors this tiger, tiger desires to take his soul. But the magician must safeguard his. He starts a ritual. As a result, the magician splatters blood on a mirror, but the tiger dislikes it because he desires the soul's pure blood the wizard offered over his daughter. As a result of it, Julia and they people have started to disappear after both police investigators and that day found some pictures of Julia. They discovered that the magician actually assaults Julia, and the woman tells Anna about it that if you run across Julia, you'll see the magician without a doubt because they are tiger slaves, thus you must not use them. Bring that woman home. The woman tells Anna that she can possess you as well, thus you could as a result, you will lose your sight. Is the initial sign, and Anna was already making mistakes in judgment when Anna's daughter was by herself at home. She moved when the woman requested her to do so. Quickly, her young child had her attention. Anna's mother's voice could be heard from the home's mirror side, telling her to visit here without being afraid. He was a magician in the mirror in reality, who was nearby him calling Anna's daughter. She desired to seek out her. Anna's daughter shut her eyes in fear. Julia informed her that she was hiding in a cabinet. Not to worry, I'll be with you, and she sat in the cabinet alongside her. Upon her return home, Anna starts hunting for. However, she is unable to find her daughter. As soon as she opens the cabinet, she sees Julia, her daughter, and she believes Julia was taking care of her daughter. Anna wants to know if Julia's daughter. Where are my husband and his family located? A mother as she gets ready to leave the house with it. A police officer's business card was left nearby. Daughter telling her to get in touch with him if she's running late and can't until the morning. Return. Anna was being transported to the cave by Julia. In that cave, there were worn out staircases, and they were terrible. Julia instructs Anna to descend solemnly, and Julie advises her that if she hears a she shouldn't reply to your voice. Nevertheless, as she walks, Anna's foot twists. Here is a corner where the mother originates from. After her voice, the voices were nasty man. Around her daughter, the entire cave, both her husband and her were calling her in the. Anna then recognizes her daughter's voice. That mother arrives here from a corner. After her voice, this terrible man appears. The voices echo throughout the entire cave. Calls from the daughter and her husband their direction as Anna hears her. Daughter's voice came from a nook. I'm afraid whenever my mother comes over. When Anna hears her heart melts. Voice of the distressed daughter, I'm coming, she promises her daughter. Then she moves in that direction. On the other hand, Julia stops her abruptly and requests that she stay. There the magician who had a tiger inside of him arrives. He was prepared to murder them, but they conceal themselves in a cave chamber. On the Anna's foot gets trapped on the way there somewhere. The magician reaches out to Anna, but she succeeds in releasing her foot. Plus flees. Subsequently, he removes Anna's husband's voice and commands her to approach me. Anna and Julia were now in a crowded room. Reflects. A hand appears from the frame, installs a floor-level mirror on Anna's clutching her hand. Anna, however, leaves the area as there were sounds when she released her hand emanating from all of the mirrors, and Anna covers. She was holding her ears in her palm because irritated because she was thinking of her deceased son. Anna was in front of a mirror while standing, which she is being dragged by the magician, which implies inside of that mirror. Nevertheless, Anna's husband shows up and, while saving Anna, destroys the mirror. When Anna's husband goes blind, he informs her for her to exit the cave. In the meantime, she gets a call from that officer of the law. She tried to explain everything to him. However, she stumbled after dropping the phone. Once more currently, Anna and her husband are trying to leave the cave collectively. However, the magician who changes into a monster with facial white hair attempts to eject her husband. On the other hand, Anna cheats on her spouse. Internal out now. Anna is strolling with her spouse. They hear Julia's voice from outside, saying, Mom, you said, came from behind them. You wouldn't ever abandon me. Why are you leaving right away? Don't go, but Anna can't trust you, Julia, anymore. Anna also lost her sight in this instance, which that her spouse and she are both blind. Both of them attempt to turn upward, while holding hands with one another. However, those steps were excessive, and they seem to go on forever. Then her dead son's voice can be heard, who informs her her mother wouldn't go back and leave me alone. Anna feels her heart melt as she finds it. However, she is informed by her spouse that he is. Anna climbs and finds him dead and absent. Return to her spouse, but this time her child begrudgingly sobs. Mother refuses, and she becomes impatient. She holds both of her husband's hands and promises to return with my son soon. Turned around, she is descending. Anna sprints up the stairs. She hugs Julia and enters. They then relocate elsewhere inside the cave. In contrast, We view Anne as a husband exits the cave successfully, but Anna still doesn't have it. It was rumored that the tiger who the populace, in their own words, deceased family members, was the tiger who sealed the cave, and this movie with it ceased to exist and afterwards makes them pray. This is why does everyone who approaches the cave disappears sadly. This is where the film stops. Thank you for watching.